If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, how do you decline services or installs for the people that you might serve, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silvenbell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live from the Delta. There's going to be a point where you meet with somebody, and for whatever reason, they're not a good fit. And so one of the things that you should absolutely practice is your breakup. Now, statistically speaking, this should happen about roughly every 3 people that you meet with out of 100. So if you're getting a lot of these people, it's you. If you're getting a few of them and it happens like once a month, once a quarter, you're probably right on track. But if there's a lot of them, there's something going on in your life. There's something that you're agitated about. There's a frustration you have a problem, and it's you. You have to know that. Like, I'm going to give you the finger wag, right? Like, what is that, the Matumbo? No. Okay, here's the thing. You'll be asked or told to do things. So I can think of times where I ended up at homes where people had cracked heat exchangers, and it was one of those situations where they had excessive flame rollout, and it was, all flame out rollout is bad, but I'm talking like you could barbecue on this, and it's tripping the circuitry. And I can think of times where people are like, you're going to fix that. I'm like, well, I wish I could. One, I didn't bring my magic wand. And 2, no, I'm not. It's a fire hazard and it's a safety hazard. This thing is officially done. Like, no bueno. You're not okay to operate this thing. So, sometimes people will say, well, I want you to wire it back up anyway. I'm like, no. So there's a brand of furnaces that they were installed in attics in the 90s, and they were made by one company, and they built a whole bunch of them for a lot of different companies. And in Sacramento, on Christmas Eve, one of the houses had flame rollout from underneath this furnace, and it caught an entire house on fire. And the fire captain for that area said, hey, this fire was caused by the furnace, by flame rollout. And I know of people who went to that house and said, do not use this thing. And the guy was like, I'm adamant, I'm going to do it. I don't know if he went up there and rewired it. I don't know the outcome. I never found out the details, but like, these are people that you have to go, I can't help you. Your life, your life is in your hands by making this mistake. And I could think of times where I went to homes where people like, I got a crack in my heat exchanger and I don't care. It's cold outside. I'm going to use my furnace, and they're pushing excessive parts per million. I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to hook this thing up. It's cracked. It's failed, right? The manufacturer, when you take a heat exchanger to the manufacturer, they never ask you, well, what's the CO2 count? No, they go, oh, it's cracked. We're replacing it, right? This is where it's confusing for homeowners, because sometimes technicians will go out there and go like, well, I'm not sensing a lot of parts per million. That's not how the manufacturers look at a failure. They're like, is it cracked or is it not cracked? And every manufacturer will have like their definition of a failed part. If it's cracked, it's got to be replaced. Here's the thing. You can start on your own. You can have these conversations, and then you can move on to management or ownership. So you got to know the rules of what your company is willing or not willing to do. And sometimes that means I'm going to go step outside. I'm going to go make a phone call. And then you give the breakdown and you give all the facts, and then you say like, hey, here's what we will do. And here's the situation. So as a salesperson, as a company, as an organization, you should absolutely role play this conversation, because most of the time you're amped up. The person's upset. You're trying to have a conversation. They won't let you talk. You should absolutely role play that. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication, hvactechsecrets.com. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. You'll freaking love it. And occasionally I try to sell you stuff. So you're like, hey, Scott, what are my opportunities for me to decline services? Well, one of them is no. No. Like, sometimes you'll get people who are super pushy, and they're like, this is what you're going to do. And you're going to say, no. Right? Especially if you've already talked to a manager. And I always love I will give you a bad review. I'll tell all my friends to not use you. Right? Number 2 on this list, based upon what you've shared, this won't work. We're not going to do it. I'm sorry, based upon what you've shared, this won't work. We're not going to do it. Number 3, you'll need to look for other options, and we'll not be able to provide services for you. Hey, I want you to do this thing. I'm sorry. Here's the thing. You'll need to look for other options, as we're not going to be able to provide service for you. I can think of a time, go to this house. The unit needed a crane. to get it up onto the roof. And they have these tiles that are aluminum covered with asphalt. And I am a fatty, right? It's a technical term. I'm a fatty. And if I step on one of these things, it goes from being rounded to flat. And so it was a long crane reach. And so I tell the guy, I said, hey, man, like, in order to do this job, here's what we're going to have to do. And I'm worried about my installer safety. And he says, they're just installers, which led me to go, I'm sorry, based upon our conversation, you're going to have to find work from somebody else because I'm not going to do it. Called the GM of the company, said, hey, GM, I declined work at this job. This guy was just not a good person. Like, didn't worry about the safety of the installers. Manager was like, we really needed the job, but I can understand why you walked from it. Number 5 on this list. From here, you need to find a new provider to help you out. We're declining to provide service to you and your property. So you really want to have whatever way that your company, your organization, your people are all going to break up with a client, and you're going to want to practice it. And this is something that should be on the schedule for once a month, once a quarter, especially for a brand new employee. How do you break up with somebody and tell them we're not going to be a good fit? We can't work together. We're not going to be able to work out. You should have this down to be able to have this conversation and make it work for you. There you go. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.